And welcome back to the next episode. This episode I'm going to start to build my storage system. I have extended this room a little bit further back that way, just so I can accommodate the redstone and the sorting system for the item categorizer. If I go into this box just here, I've got just about everything I need. Bits and pieces through here, just junk, but that's just about everything I need redstone wise. There might be just a couple of things here and there. I do need some more carts, and I will need some non-stackable items that will be part of the filter system, but I will need some more cards that I need to make. But hopefully that's enough of everything I need. I just went through and crafted up some stacks of stuff. I recently just got back from doing a trip around a couple of the villages that I looked up through on Chunkbase, just to get some hay bales, so I had enough hay bales to make the tugger box. Now, I'm going to get started. I'll probably what I'll do is I'm going to be following a tutorial by Silent Whisper. It should still work fairly well. There is one or two changes I know that I need to make from the tutorial. What I'll do, I will put the tutorial description link in the descriptions to the one I'm using, but there is and if you go through the comments on that, there is a suggestion about replacing one or two of the powered rails just with some normal rails to slow the minecarts down, and I'll probably give you a bit of a time lapse of bits and pieces of it, or I'll stop and show you where I'm up to. We'll just see whichever looks less through the screen. Alright, give me a minute and I'll be right back with you. Okay, and I'm back. Apologise if you can hear some background noise, I've got the kids home. But this is as Silent says, the brain side of the storage system, the input and everything else. I did have to do a little bit of jiggery pokery just here with this part, because the way rails align during to north, south, east, west, but I managed to sort of get that out by placing one up here and then going down there instead, so it was facing the right direction. So that's the harder part of it done and built for the recycling of the hopper mine carts and everything else. And then the next section, I will be building the slices of the storage system and the filters. I'll get back to you then when I've got that one done, and let you know of any other sort of hiccups I came in along the way. But yes, as I said, I'm following Silent Whisper's tutorial. If I have any hiccups, I'll let you know. But hopefully, when you come back in next, I'll have a storage system built, or at least one slice, so you can see how one slice works, and then I'll just copy it across. So, be back with you again shortly. Here is the side view. Of one of the slices. Now, this chest here will have the categories in, so if I want to say only sort grass in here, I put one block of grass in, bone meal, any other, those sort of things, all the categories I want in that chest, and then they would all be sorted into these three chests here, and that falls one if it overflows. Pick that up. Now what I'm going to do is duplicate this slice, which is everything in this section just here, again, probably until I get to about here. So, I think I do need 3 or 4 spaces here, so I'll probably do another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do 8 more of these slices, and then I'll come back and start again from where I'm up to with the tutorial there. So, right, now that's all the cells made. I'm pretty sure I need 3 blocks this side for some more redstone for the returns, and a couple of changes for an overflow, but that's still a fair bit of storage there. If I need to, I might widen it out a little bit more, but I think I should have enough for now. Now, I need to jump back into the tutorial again. So, after finishing this off, I have come to the conclusion that either updates have messed up with this, or it never worked properly to begin with. It's buggy, doesn't want to work. So what I'm going to do is tear out the second half. The brain part itself works good, looks fine. Whoops. The first half, everything up until this point right here works quite well. There's elements I do like in it, but like for example the filter system. But what I'm going to do is then I'm going to redesign this part here so it will so I can do it sort of differently. Now, I don't think it'll be quite as fast as the original, but it's definitely going to be different. So I'm going to tear all this off and then I'll start by working into a new system. I'll be back when I've got something different. Okay, so here is my detection system that I've come up with. That will tell me which slice has had the filter taken out of. If we look in here, I've got a grass block. We come around. This is sort of just a loop to bring my hopper minecart back over the top to put the filtered item back in. Oops! Whoa, nearly knocked it off. Don't knock it off. Don't knock it off. I really don't want to have to pick it all up again. There we go. Here you can see what would spit out from over there, over the brain. Now if I nudge it onto the track, just let me get back up there. Now if I nudge it on, you'll see that it will go around, unlock that hopper, come back, lock it again, and if we open it up, all that's left are the 25 grass. Come over here, this is the collection for those 4 shovels, and we look back in here and a grass plot is back in. So that's the detection part done. Now from there you can get rid of that now. So this is our cell here, so we'll just chop this off and chop that off and chop that off and chop. So that's our first cell. That. So that's my first cell. And don't have that block there. Okay. And everything else is needed. So the hopper minecart will come under, pull out whatever's matching. There it goes. So it'll fire off the cell, sending this up, which will unlock the hopper, allowing it, when it comes back round, to deposit it back into the same chest it came from. And then it will be, then it's a matter of using this same system to similar to how the other one shot minecarts up and let them unload, and then fire them back out and send them back into the cactus over there. This way, this is going to unlock the hoppers for a certain row of chests. So that's my next project, work that out. But that's my first part of the cell. It's not using bubble columns or anything else, just relying solely on the minecart passing through, taking one item out, sending it back over, putting it back in, resetting it so it's ready for the next minecart. And then I think what I'm going to do also is I'm going to, once it's come back to this point here, is a detector rail which will unlock the next minecart being able to be sent through, so I don't end up with double minecarts, one coming through and there's the other one still travelling across the top. It'll be a little bit slower, but it's still going to be a lot quicker than previously, where I was just having bugs and things go wrong. So, and I am done. Now, I did have to do a bit of jiggery pokery and changing around of stuff over here to get some timings right. And I've just got to double check that I've got to reset all these after adding some of the filters in. There we go. You do need to reset them each time the filter passes. Got a filter in that one, as you can see. Filtered some redstone stuff. I haven't completed the filters yet, but I also need to, as you can see, just to double check, see how some of the hoppers are pushed across, like so. Because I was adjusting filters, I need to press this button, reset them, pushing them across. Now, deposit the items in the chest here, it reads it, it will automatically send out a cart through here, out that way. Now, that cart will get sent up here, pick up an item out of the chest. We'll come this way, it's a bit easier. Pick up an item out of the chest, come this way. These 4 hoppers here take out the shovels, which fill up the last 4 slots of the cart. It then comes along here. Once an item's taken out, it unlocks whichever hopper it came out of, so it can take one item out of the selected item, putting it back in so the filter's reset. It will go up here. It'll go up here. It will unload the items, pushing them in here. And then the dropper puts them in the water stream. Whichever hopper system was activated, whichever line was activated, pushes the hopper across under the water stream, so it only collects there. Any items not in the filter end up down in this hopper, or any items that may have been skipped due to lag and so on and so forth. It then comes in here, goes over this detector rail, which will start this line off, which gives it a time, which will then give it enough time for the items that are spat out there and then reset, the same as what it did with that button before. It also sends the signal down to here, which is timed enough to send out the next minecart. I'll give you a quick example of how it works now, and it does need a little bit more refinement before I decide to make a tutorial, but okay, now I'll give you a quick example of how it works. So if I put in, we'll put in those grass blocks, we'll put in some sticks and 4 warped roots. I'll let it go, do its thing. Pushes them back in. I seem to have played around with timers here. I'll just reset it. I did play with timing before, I've just got to adjust it obviously. So just let me double check that everything's working here. Got a funny feeling I've knocked something off. If I just have a quick look around here. should send a signal down here. Yeah, next one goes down. Now it's empty. So the next time the signal comes down, it won't have anything in there. So it won't send a new card. Now we should see down in this one. Yeah, I stuffed it up. That was in there before, but we've got the 4 in there. I think this is the sticks ended up in there, and the grass ended up in there. So that's how it works. A little bit more refining with timings to go, so I'm not going to put out a tutorial just yet. I want to work on it a bit more in creative, but this was all built just in survival. But I hope you like it, and in the next episode I'm going to finish off this room and show you what I've been up to up there. You can see a little bit of a sneak peek. If you watched one of the live streams over the weekend, you would have seen a bit more of the base, but that's fine. I did invite them in to have a look, and I will catch you next time. And no spoilers.